Welcome back. Well, the former Clinton campaign lawyer Michael Sussman trial continues today, and Michael Sussman may take the stand himself in the Durham probe, but only under certain conditions, his lawyers say. His lawyers are asking the judge to keep the government from asking any questions related to pre-indictment negotiations. Sussman denying charges that he lied to the FBI. Joining me right now is former senior counselor to President Trump and pollster Kellyanne Conway, out with a new book called Here's the Deal, a memoir. Kellyanne, congrats on the new book, and thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Maria. You're going to love that book because it talks a lot about taking on the old boys and new boys clubs and just succeeding in a male-dominated industry, and you're the original one who did that.
Thanks for saying that, Kellyanne. I am enjoying it very much, and I'm up to the part where you're on stage between Steve Bannon and others, and you're there in your Alexander McQueen dress, and you are just standing tall as the president gives you and the others credit for getting him there, and the crowd is going nuts, chanting USA, USA. Tell me how that moment was for you. I mean, you just said you did all of this. You made sure to get on stage in a sea of suits with all of these men in industry. That's got to be tough.
It was indescribably euphoric at that moment, Maria. But I think Donald Trump was the wish fulfillment that people have been telling pollsters like me for decades. I want somebody to be president who has a ton of experience, but never worked in Washington, no political ties. And you're like, well, who's that going to be? And it turned out it was a pre-verified, very well-known businessman and job creator. They knew him from TV, his #1 hit show on The Apprentice. They knew him as Donald Trump, the real estate developer. And then he went out there and he went to rally after rally, nook and cranny in this country. And one thing the mainstream media missed about the 2016 campaign that I read about in the book, Maria, is how many local interviews Donald Trump provided, and others who were his surrogates. They missed that because they were only given national coverage. The local interviews, by and large, whether it was newspaper, radio, or TV, would be pretty fair in their coverage. They would report just the facts, man. Donald Trump came to town. Donald Trump said he's going to cut your taxes. Instead of all these stories, Donald Trump takes the wings off a butterfly. Russia collusion, Russia, Russia, Russia. So that was very important. At that moment on the stage, I mean, I was 49 years old. Donald Trump elevated me in a way that Romney, McCain, no one named Bush, no Republican candidate had ever done in his presidential race, was to make me campaign manager. And we made history together, but it's Donald Trump who put me there. And I think this is important, Maria, because I was basically an outsider. You had all these fools, these grifters and shifters who then went on to run the Lincoln Project. I mean, they had failed upward for years, always gave each other a seat on the gravy train, excluded me from the big boys table many times, and I have to thank them publicly for that, as I do in the book, because it forced me to go get corporate clients like Major League Baseball, like Martha Stewart living on the media, like American Express, like Ladies Home Journal. You know, I worked for other nonprofits and other Fortune 100 and 500 companies because I went out to discern not just what voting America thinks, but what the rest of America thinks. And I was ready for that moment when Donald Trump asked me to be campaign manager because I'd been studying as a cultural anthropologist, not just a political pollster, the way America was spending its time, its money, listening in focus groups and polling to their aspirations, to their frustrations, and to their recommendations. But I'm glad you mentioned the Hilton. Nobody's actually talked about that in this book tour for Here's the Deal. And thanks for telling your audience. They'll love the book. Maria, right before you see us on the stage, Huma Abedin had called my cell phone, and she called with Secretary Clinton on her phone to talk to Mr. Trump and concede the election. And I handed him the phone. I said, "Congratulations, Mr. President-elect." It was 2:30 a.m. I have a screenshot of the call in my book. I turned to Vice President-elect Pence and said, "Make sure Hillary actually concedes." And she did the next day, but she hasn't really since.
Unbelievable. Oh, God. Kellyanne, you're mentioning so many important things, particularly the fact that President Trump knew what was important to voters because he was out doing those local interviews. I feel that this administration has such a tin ear in terms of what's most important to voters. So tell us, will President Trump run again in 2024?
He'd like to. I speak with him frequently, and he certainly would like to. Because he knows there's unfinished business. He sees what he could have done in the second term versus all the unraveling of the great policies. And that's the second track here, Maria, isn't it? Donald Trump's like the rest of America. He's within that majority of all the polls Republicans, independents, and a growing number of Democrats and Biden voters, Maria, who say enough is enough. The inflation, the immigration, the border insecurity, Putin and Russia, Iran staring at Israel. No respect for manufacturing, for these trade deals and enforcing them and making them really work for I think what Donald Trump did, he was great for the job creator, the job seeker, but also the job holder, which is the majority of American households who, Maria, unlike when our grandfathers had a job, people are saying, I have a job, but it's no longer enough. We have 2 jobs in the household. When did it not become enough? So there's unfinished business. I think whoever runs, Donald Trump will go first. And if he decides he does or doesn't, whoever runs has to run as an America First candidate and reclaim those policies.
Yes. Kellyanne, great to see you. Congrats on the book. Thanks so much. Kellyanne Conway.